Welcome to SUSECON Digital 21 and welcome to Linux World. I hope your journey here was comfortable, whether you traveled at warp speed or at impulse only. And I trust your life support systems have checked in with the planetary management pane here on Linux World. While we can't be together physically today, there's nowhere else I'd rather be speaking from than Linux World. Because we at SUSE are proud of our Linux history. SUSE was first to make the Linux operating system enterprise grade in 1994. And today, SUSE Linux is trusted by more than 60% of the Fortune Global 500. And we are proud that SUSE Linux is the only adaptable Linux in the world. What does that mean exactly? Let me unpack that for you. This means that SUSE is ideal for your workloads across the data center, hyperscaler clouds, and edge computing, enabling innovation everywhere. As the #1 innovator in open source, SUSE helps customers live up to their innovation potential by transforming IT infrastructure and powering critical systems, so that you, our customers, become genuine innovation heroes. How is that possible? Let me tell you the 4 secret SUSE ingredients. But promise you won't tell anyone. The first is community. SUSE works actively with the upstream Linux community and OpenSUSE to bring innovation into SUSE products at a record pace. The second is a root of trust. SUSE has a secure software supply chain for all your open source needs. The third is certifications. SUSE has a world-class set of partner apps, and it has automated security hardening for compliance with some of the toughest regulators in the world. And the fourth, last but not least, is solutions. SUSE goes beyond products with solutions for your most pressing business needs. And we're building them as open source projects. So based on this, the SUSE Linux family of products is evolving. Our mainstay, the core, is SUSE Linux Enterprise 15 Service Pack 2. This is highly innovative as we bring Linux kernel 5.3 into the mainstream for the enterprise. And it's highly secure with new certifications from DISASTIG and FIPS for cryptography. Our specialized solution for SAP workloads, SUSE Linux Enterprise for SAP 15 Service Pack 2, is easy to use with deployment automation, and it's best for the cloud with deep integration into the Azure monitoring framework. It also is the best for SAP as the only operating system in SAP's endorsed applications program. Looking out towards the edge, SUSE Linux Enterprise Micro 5.0 is very robust, supporting transactional updates that keep you safe. It's hardened with SE Linux security profiles and best for embedded systems given minimal image size. Last but not least, SUSE Manager 4.1. Our management solution for all SUSE and third-party operating systems is easy to use with great strides forward in user interface and user experience. It also is highly productive for administrators with automation for maintenance windows and patches. And for the first time, it is fully cluster aware. Many of you may have already experienced some of these qualities firsthand. So what's in the pipeline for the only adaptable Linux in the world? What will be there tomorrow? In a few short weeks, Service Pack 3 is coming to SUSE Linux Enterprise 15. It will be the most open Linux because it's becoming binary compatible with OpenSUSE. It will be the best Linux for developers because we're bringing Python 3.9, Node.js 14, and GCC 10 into the distribution. And will be best for database workloads, as we're upgrading PostgreSQL to version 13 and MariaDB to version 10.5. It also has the best performance, as we're adding support for the latest hardware vendor features from Intel, from AMD, and from ARM. And we're making it the best for artificial intelligence and for machine learning, adding virtual GPU support for NVIDIA and other capabilities. To this end, I am also hugely excited about the public beta of Project FuseML, our solution which brings the power of GitOps to artificial intelligence workflows. Learn more at github.com/FuseML by Suse. So what about SUSE Linux Enterprise for SAP? Service Pack 3 is also landing there in a few short weeks. It will be even easier to use with Project Trento, our new SUSE console for SAP. You can check that out on GitHub as well. It will be functionally rich with major updates to Subtune and to our high availability capabilities. And this fall, SUSE Linux Enterprise Micro 5.1 is going to become Rancher ready. That's right, our teams, as we speak, are building an interplanetary corridor between Linux world and container world. SLE Micro will also be best for developers, for database and for performance because it inherits all the goodness of SLES 15 Service Pack 3. And we will enable the most adaptable Linux with Project Gekido, our new build tool, which enables seamless cross-compiling and cross-building. If you work on embedded systems, that one's for you. In a similar vein, this very summer, SUSE Manager 4.2 is going to be fully cloud ready for public cloud deployments. It's going to become even more scalable, helping you with large and largest landscape, and it will be fully SAP aware. As you can see, SUSE is not just the only adaptable Linux in the world. The ease of use that we bring, the cloud readiness, the security hardening, and the resilience are major themes for where we're headed with...
Attention penguins, I am Drach of Blingon. We are in orbit around Linux world, and we are aiming the zero-day exploit black hole at you. When it activates, it will turn all the servers on your sorry excuse for a planet into scrap metal. You have 100 seconds to transfer 1,000 Bitcoin to our wallet on the galactic blockchain.
Hey you dastardly blingans, I'm right in the middle of a SUSECON keynote. Can't we do this some other time?
Drach don't care about your Keynote penguins. Keynotes mean nothing to us. We want 1,000 Bitcoins in the next 100 seconds, or we will carry out our threat.
Comms tower to engineering. Vojtech, please come in. We have a bit of a situation here.
Markus, this is really a bad time. The fusion generators are acting up again, there are gremlins in the defense grid, and the shields are iffy. Projects everywhere. Good thing at least our SUSE Linux is rock solid.
Sorry to disturb you, Vojtech, but a Blinken battlecruiser just uncloaked in orbit around Linux world, and the fleet is currently at Embedded World for the opening ceremony.
I see. Those sneaky Blingons.
Yup, they are mounting an interstellar ransomware attack with Black Hole. They ask for 1,000 Bitcoin.
Black hole? We released a patch for that this morning, Markus. See, here it is on securitysuse.com.
Great, the patch is good, Vojtech. But I need you to do this without downtime. Remember, we have thousands of guests from around the galaxy today. Their life support depends on the operating system. This is a matter of life and death.
Oh, not to worry, Markus. It's a live patch. It's just one click in SUSE Manager. Deploying, and all planetary servers are secured against Black Hole. Huh, them Blingons, sneaky, but slow.
Penguins, we are not joking around. Your planetary defense grid is down. When Gartok pushes this button, a torpedo will strike your data center.
We laugh at your idle threats. All our servers are already patched against Black Hole. Earn your ransoms elsewhere.
Gartok! That'll teach you some respect. Now transfer the Bitcoin immediately.
Vojtech, about those ongoing projects of yours? Now would be a really good moment to get fusion and deflector shields back.
Well, it would, wouldn't it, Markus? I have million easy troubleshooting fusion. They have 3 root cause candidates, all rather fascinating. The theoretical implications are...
Those will have to wait, Vojtech. There is this tiny matter of a torpedo inbound for data center 17. I'd rather like to see it deflected away.
Torpedo or no torpedo, million easy will have to get to the bottom of this project. Until they do, we'll have to rely on high availability clustering in SUSE Linux Enterprise.
Oh well, all teams brace for impact.
Oh, roger the impact in data center 17, Markus. Checking high availability, clustering, monitor, pacemaker and coroutines are online, one node down. We still have a quorum. No data losses, no transaction losses.
Ah, splendid, Vojtech. Now get me Fusion back, please. Was that a pea shooter? You should be embarrassed of yourselves. Pack up your toys and scram, you horseflies, before we swat you from the sky.
This is your last chance. This battlecruiser is equipped with a cosmic ray gun. You have 20 seconds to transfer the 1,000 Bitcoin, or every single bit in your data center will wish you was born stateless. Kartok, begin the countdown. 20, 19.
Vojtech, just out of curiosity, didn't you run some radiation shielding project some years ago? Well, I'm asking for a friend.
16, 15.
Oh, that was rather fascinating, Markus. Project Lead Tuxedo. 2,000 tons of lead to insulate our data center from solar flares. Really impressive attenuation ratios.
10, 9.
So we're covered on that?
Nah, the project got cancelled by management. Finance did not buy the business case. Something about the cost-benefit ratio or return on investment being hard to justify. You know, that kind of email.
We have to take it on the chin then.
5, 4,
Raise servers for Cosmic Ray Gun Strike.
3, 2, 1. Fire!
We are reading elevated levels of memory errors in SUSE Manager. Data Center 17 again. The ECC correction are holding, Markus. More memory errors, yes. We are holding up nicely.
Vojtech, I'm getting rather bored by this sorry excuse for a threat. Any news from your ongoing projects?
Oh, rather good news, Markus. Millie and Jiří have found the root cause. That was a closed-source software in the Fusion controller. Fix that for you. We have full energy.
Hey, Dargle Bargle. You may have briefly seen a large heat source on the surface of the planet. Large because that's our fusion plant that just powered up all the way. And briefly because our shields and defense grids are now fully active. May I politely suggest you go on your merry way?
His name is Darach. It's pronounced Darach. Ah, come on, Darach. Let's just go find another vendor to attack.
My apologies. Where was I before we were so rudely interrupted? Yes. SUSE Linux Enterprise has industry-leading resilience and enables near-zero downtime. With live patching, with high availability clustering, and SUSE Manager monitoring of hardware faults, you too can be resilient to a wide range of adverse events.
Now we have finished saving the universe of our customers, Markus. I want to focus on them, our customers.
Hello everyone. I have the great pleasure of having Robert from Electrobit with us. Robert, can you tell a little bit about yourself and your role at Electrobit?
Yes. First of all, hello and thanks for the invitation. So my name is Robert Leibinger. I'm the head of product management group High Performance Computer at Electrobit. And my team take care about the Electrobit products in the area of high performance in-car computing.
We've been working together for a while now. So what are the major milestones we have reached together?
Yes, so in the first 12 months of our collaboration, we demonstrated that our common Linux distribution can solve major challenges and provide an efficient long-term maintainability. Our efforts were mainly focused on the x86 architecture. Now we want to extend our solution and integrate and maintain board support packages from a wide variety of SoC vendors, including ARM-based platforms. We are also focusing on optimization so that the result will be a generic automotive embedded Linux that is precisely built for the purpose of automotive use cases.
It is very exciting, particularly to move to further platforms. When doing that, what do you consider the main advantages of open source-based operating systems like SUSE Linux Enterprise versus closed operating systems that have dominated the market for a very long time.
The UNECE 155 poses a huge challenge to the automotive industry. The OEM must monitor and analyze cyber attacks, ever-changing threats and vulnerabilities of their vehicles, and periodically report them to the authorities. This will be mandatory for many years, even after the end of the production of a vehicle. Open source-based operating systems like Linux are subject to ongoing examination by vast community and security analysts across various institutions and for various purposes. In a closed environment, the detection of security breaches takes much longer as there are fewer eyes on the code, with only some dedicated security teams analyzing the system. Our common Linux distribution tackles these challenges and enables efficient long-term maintainability.
Indeed, a fully connected vehicle is really changing the game and poses new challenges that I am quite confident our joint solution is ready to tackle today and in the long term as well. Thank you a lot for joining us. Thank you a lot for the interview. Thomas, it's great to have you here. Can you tell us, for the start, something about yourself and your role at Walgreens?
Yeah, thank you, Vojtech, for having the opportunity to speak here to everybody. My role at Walgreens is that I'm responsible for the SAP infrastructure for our cloud solution, which is running our business for the pharmaceutical systems. And my background is that I come from SAP basis up to infrastructure.
That is awesome. Can I ask you how the retail business in your area has changed over the last few years?
Everybody is now using different shopping methods with the pandemic, with that impact. We had to make big changes, also be flexible. And of course, our 9,300 stores need to be flexible to the customer, touchless shopping, new demands, and therefore we need to distinguish us, and SAP solution running on Suse is a critical part of that for us to give us the flexibility and the stability of the system so that we can be innovative and competitive at all times.
You mentioned our Linux plays a critical role in the infrastructure of Walgreens. How do we help you innovate?
Well, SUSE is very instrumental for our complete SAP SUSE, SAP Azure footprint, It is, I feel it's the base foundation where everything sits on. It enables us for do the HA. We are running the biggest S4 scale out in the cloud. They are clustering, they are being highly available is super critical. It supports our 9,300 stores. Besides that, we have 10 other SAP products, landscapes that are there building that whole cluster, supporting our pharmaceutical online business and of course the stores. And you can just imagine that downtime, how bad downtime is for customers waiting in the store, getting answer, checking out, doing other stuff. We all know today time is money. You want to go in a store, you want to go get out, you want to do an online order and boom. And of course, next item, the lifecycle management. How do you manage an environment like that when we have 20 plus clusters that need to be monitored, that need to be maintained? All that stuff, we need to support the software integrating company because that is also a challenge, having them on the same level that we get from SUSE. And so some of the new things, live patching, will also reduce our downtime requirements. Again, working towards the business, giving higher uptime, giving security and other critical features that we need to implement fast.
I'm very happy that our new technologies are able to help you achieve your goals. It's quite a landscape that you are managing. What it's like to work with the SUSE team to support it?
I personally enjoyed quite a bit. And the SUSE team always surprised me because they have a very deep breadth of people that have, I call it, the right mix, because sometimes we need very detailed technicians, engineers, rocket science to that perspective that help us solve a very unique cluster problem. But then we also have often issues where we need to work with software integrator because of missing skills or other stuff. And here SUSE is also able to help us. So it is I call it from A to Z, that I get support from SUSE for my issues. When we come and knocking on the door and says, hey, we need to look at new technology, we need to look at persistent memory, we need to look at all those things, SUSE is there to say, yes, we are already working on it, or we will prioritize as we see the demand is there. So I'm very happy with the SUSE team overall.
We are very glad to have Walgreens as a customer and are dedicated to serving. And SUSE will be there for you for when you need us. Absolutely. So thank you for joining us. That was an enlightening interview. And well, hope to cooperate with you in the future.
Now let's switch to Warp and have a look right into the future. What's ahead for the SUSE Linux Enterprise product family? Our promise to you remains clear. Zero friction IT operations so you can take charge of your own digital transformation. And here are the main themes. SUSE Linux Enterprise will host workloads across a range of environments. We're going to improve cloud capabilities for you. We will bring superior patch management and live patching extensions to the system. We will bring additional AI and ML enablement. And last but not least, we will bring Kubernetes to high performance computing. What that means for you is higher productivity and much easier migration. For the SAP space, we will keep simplifying management of your most critical environments with enhancements that we bring to high availability and to cluster tooling, with support of container-based workloads, and with extended monitoring and deployment automation. SUSE Manager 5 will continue to raise the bar for performance, for security, and for efficiency. We will automate security audits and security remediation support. We will take monitoring up to the next level with actionable insights right from your data. And we will improve single sign-on integration. And that's not all. All components are going to ship as containers as well. So thank you for joining me on Linux World today. Together, we've looked at the SUSE Linux Enterprise family in the here and now, tomorrow, and in the future. Remember, SUSE Linux is the industry's only adaptable Linux operating system. You can learn more right here at SUSECON Digital 21. So take advantage of the wealth of tutorials, of the deep dives, and the customer case studies. And if you enjoy using our open source offerings, I challenge you to contribute to a project this very year. It doesn't take much. Maybe some documentation, maybe a small patch, and you too are part of this amazing story. So be an innovation hero and live forever with your contribution. Have a great SUSECON Digital 21.